Truly, truly, we are the temple within which He lives, and that is the beauty of our lives. If you come to understand this, truly you are on the path for the truth to set you free. You knowing this is a step towards the truth setting you free, and you being able to use it, work towards it, is a step closer to you being set free by the truth. Hour of Awakening and Empowerment. It comes your way every Tuesday and Thursday from 8 p.m. British Summertime as it stands now, and 7 p.m. GMT, all the way till 9:30 BST and 8:30 GMT, with a very simple objective, and that is to discover our true self. And when we discover that true self that we have, we gain that power through practical tools going forward. We've been running the program for more than 3 years now, for close to 3 years, let's put it that way. And then the rock behind it has been the leader and founder of Ethereum Mission International, in the person of Brother Dr. Ishmael Tete. Today, he is coming to give us a wonderful piece on prayer, meditation, and fasting. So, without much ado, let's welcome the leader and founder of Ethereum Mission, Brother Dr. Ishmael Tete. Good evening, Daddy.
Good evening.
How are we doing?
In creative joy.
In creative joy. Why? Can there be any other form of creativity apart from the one you're describing to us, creative joy? Can there be any other creativity apart from creative joy?
We've got beautiful apps such as Grand Theft Auto, created by somebody, and when the children or youth participate in it, they learn how to kill, and you get grades for killing, and you even win a prostitute if you kill so many. I would not call it creative joy. So when we talk about creative joy, we're talking about the evolutionary joy, the joy that enhances life, and the creativity that also enhances life. So it must work in harmony with joy. It must work in harmony with creativity. So evolutionary creativity, evolutionary joy is creative joy.
Wow. So if I understand you very well, we can choose to
I trust that helps.
Yes, I understand. But if I get you very well, it means we can use our creativity to promote life or otherwise, isn't it?
That's correct. Our creativity must promote life. Our joy must promote life.
Thank you very much for that, Brother Ishmael Tete. Now I know we're starting a new topic today, but
We cannot hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Hello. Can you hear me now? Interesting. I think they're not catching me from Ghana, but I can catch them very well here in the United Kingdom. Let's see if we drop the call and call again. Hopefully, things will be sorted, and then we can carry on nicely. This is Hour of Awakening and Empowerment. Let's see if Daddy can hear us. Daddy.
I'm right here.
Excellent. Now it's very loud and clear.
Right.
I know we're starting something new today on prayer, meditation, and fasting. But
yes.
there is a popular saying that we hear since we were young, and it's been all over the place. They say, "Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder." I hope you know that one, isn't it?
That's correct.
Excellent. So now, if I should ask you.
That's correct.
Good. Now, so as a spiritualist, what do you behold if beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder.
It looks like we are not getting very good connection.
Then
Can you hear me clearly, or it's breaking the way it's breaking with me?
Well, I can hear you perfectly well. I hear you quite well. I don't know.
Then I'm okay.
Okay, good one. So let me ask briefly so you can help us. What should we behold if beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder?
You keep going off.
Then I think let's try another means to reach you. And then I think
I cannot.
Yeah, that would be much better. Let's try.
Let me see. Okay.
I think let's use the Facebook option and see if that will help us this evening.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Welcome back. Let's see if the lines are now quite okay for us to carry on. Hello, Daddy.
Yes, I can hear you quite well.
Excellent. So the question was very simple. What should we behold if beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder?
There is something called visual induction. And that's what makes us even to see a pool of water on the street when there's no pool of water on the street. But you see, when the elders say beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, is because what is beautiful for one person is not the same parameters that is beautiful for another person. Beauty probably may even lie in the person's voice, the aroma or the perfume on the person, and the person's demeanor. So that's why the elders will say beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. But if you speak to me as a spiritual person, I'll say, look for what spirit is showing up in the person. That's where the real beauty lies. And often, when I've looked through people and told them how magnificent they are, they may sometimes even argue it, no, I'm just some worthless person. And over time, I help them to discover their magnificence and their inner beauty. So real beauty is the changeless nature of the spiritual person that you are. That's what I look for.
Thank you very much for that. May we all have that spiritual eyes to see beyond what the senses administer unto us. I'll hand over to you right away as you take us through the message for today. Prayer, meditation, and fasting. Over to you, Brother Ishmael.
Thank you so much, my beloved, cherished listeners. It's joy to be with you this moment and to allow Spirit to share with us on this great topic that is very dear to the heart of everybody: prayer, meditation, and fasting. It is the reason why we go to church, the mosque, or for any religious gathering. In every social gathering, there is the call for prayer. And it is therefore necessary that we study this topic, prayer. My beloved wife shared this story, and I have every reason to believe it's true, that she was in a church in her teenage years. And in the church, the young ones will give money and provisions to the young pastors so that they will pray and fast for them. And then over a period of time, they will come back and argue with them saying, I gave you so much money and provisions to pray and fast for me, and it's been so long and I've not received any response. Give back my money to me. And then confusion would arise, and the young priest will say, if you like, ask this other person. I fasted, I prayed, but why did the prayer not manifest? This and many others, I trust, will be answered by the time we finish this discussion. There is always a deep inner edge that comes naturally to us when we are in some discomfort, when we are in some illness, or when we want to remedy some situation in our lives. When the student cannot resolve the problem, he or she will need to contact the teacher. Similarly, patients will call on the doctor. And generally in life, our intelligence tells us that we came from a huge field of intelligence. Life comes from life. If we are creative, loving, and intelligent, we must also come from creative, love, and intelligent force field that we choose to call God. And the creative, love, intelligence starts from the very cells of ourselves, from our inner, all the way to the ends of the ever-expanding universe. So, we are going to discuss prayer, and the key person in prayer is God. And for us to understand prayer, why prayer works or does not work, I will encourage you to revisit the topic, Awesome God, that I shared with you a few weeks ago. And you may also log on to my YouTube channel and just Google on the YouTube, or just go to YouTube and type Awesome God by Ishmael Tete, and you are going to have that master teaching. Summary of that is that the universe that we choose to call God, the creative, love, intelligent universe that we choose to call God, is awesome, awesomely vast, and everything is in precision. Its passionate, faithful wisdom is managing stars and galaxies with huge intergalactic, interstarry spaces between them, and the same passion is managing the life of ants, that it guides them and shows them where their next food is, and they will travel miles to come to your table for that breadcrumb or that piece of food, back to their space for storage. This tells us that the universe is coded with its own intelligence, purposefulness, knowing. The earth is spinning 1,000 miles an hour and speeding 1,000 miles an hour to give us night and day, and speeding at 67,000 miles an hour around the sun to give us the seasons, without which happenings there is no life. This self-knowing, purposeful, intelligent force that is making all this happen is what we choose to call God. And if you were to compare the earth, massive as the earth is, yes, our earth is massive because though it's spinning and speeding, we are on some, how do you call it, Disneyland rides, some very fast rides. Spinning 1,000 miles an hour is very fast. But we don't feel giddy or any movement because the earth is massive, over about 24,000 miles in circumference. Massive as the earth is, with 7 billion people and all of its contents, compared to the entire discovered universe so far, the earth is like a drop of water in 100 billion oceans brought together. In other words, if you bring all of our ocean bodies together by 100 billion, the earth is just like a drop of water in 100 billion oceans. And this power we choose to call God, the creative love intelligence, is feeling all of the fabric and the nature of the universe. So whenever we talk about God, we're talking about a truly awesome, gigantic energy. And within it are many systems or operational forces. The sun is an operational force, and so is the earth, so is the very air that you are breathing, and the water you drink, and everything else in life. So it's very important that you discover or know God who we pray to. And you must have the practice of you feeling omnipotence. You must feel omnipotence, feel omnipresence, feel omniscience God. That is the creative, love, intelligent universe. And when you can do that alone, it is the Alpha and the Omega of all prayer. And what I've shared therefore tells us that we are all units of life within the universe that we choose to call God. Hence, we are extensions of God, or God in expression. We define prayer as the scientific method of harnessing your mind, feeling, and body to experience the wonderment of life. So prayer is more of a recognition of the absolute power presence of what God is doing for you, through you, and as you. When you were in the womb, you did not pray. The power that knows how to compel the little bird to use its soft beaks to break the rocky shell and come out, compelled you to break through the narrow canal and be born. And when you were born, you did not pray for food or nourishment. Life knows what you would need. The power you choose to call God knows what you would need and had provided it. Your mother's breasts were filled with milk. In fact, the first breast milk, colostrum, contained antibiotics to immunize your fragile body. And all the minerals and nutrients you would need are all in the breast milk. Life knows your need and has provided it before you would even think of needing it. You have not prayed for it. So God will do for you. God will not do for you what God has given you the power to do. But through the expression of desire, which we just covered in our last session, you are expressing prayer. So prayer is the expression of sincere desire for a need to be fulfilled. Just as the drum head reverberates to the stroke of drumsticks, so it is that the spiritual universe is a law unto itself and receives prayer, whether spoken or unspoken. It receives them as unspoken thought spiritual materials and reproduces your prayer. So life is a prayer unto itself and reproducing itself. Now, this will bring us to the point of the nature of God to know that if God knows what you needed when you were in the womb and had provided it, then in prayer, you are not going to change God, remind God, or influence God. In fact, your prayers cannot change God, cannot remind or influence God. Hence, Jesus will tell you that your Father knows what you need already. All right? So all that prayer does, in effect, is to change you from your darkened, deluded, human sense-driven consciousness, tune you to the frequency that you want to experience of God. If I would liken God to the sun and it passes through the prism, there are billions of rays, billions of colors in the sun. Consider each color as a need fulfilled. So if you want love, maybe love will be the green color and the joy may be the pink color or whatever. So if you want joy, you just need to know how to tune in to the frequency of joy. So we can scientifically pray knowing that God is the exact creative, love, intelligent principle in life, and we need to tune ourselves to the needed frequency so that we can capture what we need. We download the wisdom in that frequency to meet our needs. So prayer changes us. Omnipotence, omnipresence, omniscience does not admit to forgetfulness. If you believe God has forgotten your prayer, so you have to go and remind God, that's what will happen. As soon as you finish praying, God has forgotten for you to go and remind God again. So in prayer, you are not going to ask God to do anything. You are simply tuning you to experience what God is already doing for you. And every need for prayer means that some supply has already been provided, awaiting your recognition and claim. So you can decide which station of God you want to switch on to, because God will not do anything for you. God is not Father Christmas, who you go to and say, I want red shoe and red bag for the wedding. And then he goes to the big room, looks for the red shoe and the red bag, and then brings them to you. So our prayers only change us by rechanneling our minds, feelings, and our bodies into recognition of what already is. So prayers must conclusively bring you into harmony with the ever-abundant grace of God. It is therefore a way of life. Have you wondered several times before? And I've heard this from churchgoers. I go to church, I pray, I pay my tithes, and then financially I'm still very stressed and strained. But these people don't go to church, they don't do anything with God, and then they are prospering. And often I ask, what do you do when you go to church? I pray. You pray to God for what? I ask my God my needs. I say, for you to even go to church with the aim of going to ask God your needs implies that God has forgotten your needs. So you see, God, the God you are worshiping, is a God who forgets your needs. That's why your needs have not been provided. So you don't go to put a shopping list to God. Just imagine that your son or daughter, who you have given great education, always calls you and says, I want this. Can you help me with that? Provide me with this. After all the education, all the nourishment you're giving to the child, he or she is still asking you? Oh no. God has vested and invested itself in us as our mind, filled with intelligence, creativity, and love for us to use. So God will not do for you what God has given you the power to do. So prayers asking favors of God, therefore, are useless. God has no storehouse to open to provide your human needs. Peace, love, joy, wisdom, whatever you are praying for is what God already is. And you just need to know how to tune in to God. It's just a few years ago that we discovered how to tap electricity from the sun. But the sun had always been providing electricity. And the sun will not give you electricity if you do not go to claim it. And using the sun's energy for electricity will not deplete the electricity power of the sun. But until you wake up to recognize that the sun has electricity for you, you will live in darkness. Similarly, if you do not wake up to realize God as the ever-present reality of your life and learn how to tune in to specific frequencies of God, you will still be sitting down lacking. Right. So I advise you, beloved, to have great meditation on God so you know God from evidence. Have evidences of the virtues of God. And that's the first primary key for you to pray effectively. How are your prayers answered? There are usually three answers. Yes. Yes, because it is already done. Yes, because it is in your highest good and the good of the entire universe. Every drop of water in the ocean is working for the collective good of the entire ocean. Do you hear that? Every drop of water in the ocean is working for the collective good of the entire ocean. And when you are in life, you are here to work for the collective good of the wholeness of life. Your prayers must even bring goodness to the moon, the stars, and the galaxies. So if your prayers will work that way, yes, it is done. Because life that knew your need for breast milk and minerals and vitamins and antibiotics before you even pray for them, that life also knows that the prayer you are requesting, the prayer request you are placing to the universe is for your evolutionary good and the evolutionary good of the universe, so it's already done. Another answer for your prayers is that no, it is not good for you. This is not evolutionary. It's going to cause you more harm. And you will understand this in due time. And then the next one will be wait. It is not time. Maybe another year or two. So you're praying to be managing director of the company. Have you considered that if you became the managing director, because of the nature of your heart, you will get heart attack and die? But all you're seeking for is that I want to be a managing director. You're not considering the rest. We are living in an absolutely benevolent, generous, and faithful universe that knows your deepest needs and is providing them instantly. So another way in which we know that our prayers are fulfilled or are answered is that we lose the need for the prayer. I mean, the desire, the concern for the prayer disappears. And that itself means that your prayer has been answered. So, question, why are some prayers fulfilled and others not fulfilled? You are spirit, and your prayers, therefore, must seek spiritual evolution. At the end of your days, all you have is your spirit. Oh, yes, a time comes, and we call it death, when you will realize that nothing in this world is yours except what you are. What are you? Moment by moment, contemplate on what you are as spirit. I find it strange that people go to church, and the main reason or the main purpose of every church is to teach you who and what you are as spirit. You see, Bible tells us in 1 Corinthians 15, verse 44, 45, that you have a natural body and you have a spiritual body. Our natural body and its needs are taken care of by us going through school all the way to university to get our PhD. So we can provide ourselves with food, clothing, and shelter and other material needs. And then the spirit that animates the body, we receive its education in the churches. Those are the God schools. And you go to the God schools and they don't teach you spirituality. They don't teach you who and what you are as spirit. You are wasting your time. I wonder what human being you are to continue going to church for 2 years, 3 years, and they've never had a program to teach you what you are as spirit. Jesus told us in the book of John chapter 4, verse 24, that God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. So your prayers must seek to discover and enlarge what you are as spirit. When your prayers are very mundane, earthly, they will trap you into more carnal living. And sometimes the great spirit that you come from will say, no, let me keep you safe for yourself. So when your prayers are selfish, then they may not be also answered. Your prayers must have what I call divergent impact matrix. And let me explain this. We have what we call parallel impact matrix. Consider a person born with a spiritual force of, let's say, 1,000 units. In other words, his life can bless 1,000 people. And then the person lives all of his life or her life, and his or her life blesses 1,000 people. We call this person parallel impact matrix. So with 1,000 soul force, he or she blessed 1,000 people. Then we have those we call the convergent impact matrix. They converge, they go narrow. So they were born with 1,000 soul force, and they ended up, their life was a blessing to only 5 people. So they ended up as convergent impact matrix beings. Then we have the divergent impact matrix. So you were born with a soul force of 1,000 units, and your life blessed 1 million. Your life is here to be a blessing. So you put a seed in the ground, it grows, multiplies, and provides you thousands of itself. And your command, the original blessing God gave you in Genesis 1:28 was that you must expand and be a blessing. So it said, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it and have dominion. That was creative love, intelligence, universe blessing you with itself to be more of the goodness that it is. That wasn't telling you to go and have children. Created in God's image and likeness, you are asked to bear fruits. In other words, you are the seeds of God, and you are here to bear fruits. And Galatians 5:22-23 tells you that the fruit of the Spirit is peace, love, joy, wisdom, and so on. So you are here to multiply this, amplify this, and make them a blessing unto life. Again, your prayers will not be fulfilled when you are disconnected from life. You know, the second objective or mission of Jesus was to teach us oneness of life. And he demonstrated it, and I've shared that with you greatly when he said that not all those who say, Lord, Lord, and not even those who heal and do miracles and prophesy in my name shall experience everlasting life or the kingdom of heaven, but those who do the will of the Father. And when they asked him what the will of the Father was, in the book of Mark chapter 12, verse 29-31, he answered saying, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one God. That is declaration of oneness. And he quickly added a way to do it. And you shall love God with all of your heart and all of your might, and your neighbor as yourself. So he declared oneness and showed that the path to oneness is for you to love God and then to love your neighbor. Asked who is this neighbor, because in the Jewish tradition, the neighbor is one who loves you. But Jesus said, no, you must love this man of the other religion, culture, and faith, the Samaritans. And there was huge enmity between Jews and Samaritans. And Jesus advised the Hebrews to love the Samaritans as themselves. That was a very hard request. It was 2,000 years ago, enmity between tribes was a very deep enmity, such that they do not even walk the same road. In the book of John 4, it says, because Jews have no dealings with Samaritans. And Jesus asked us to cross the religious and cultural boundaries and be in oneness with the man and woman of the other faith. Love them as ourselves. Are you as a Christian doing that? If not, then sorry. Jesus told you in Matthew 12:30 that he who is not with me is against me. In other words, Antichrist. And he who does not gather with me scatters. And see, the world today is scattering all the terrorism, wars, confusion, and the base for all of these, 90% of the root cause is religion. So when you are disconnected from life, and maybe the prayer request, the answer is coming from a Muslim to you, and you hate Muslims, hate means you are negating the channel through which life will meet your need. So many people, your needs are not met because you have created restriction, hating your own sister, some resentment, and all this means you are creating short circuit between you and life. Life is one organic whole. If you were to slash me on my shoulder, I'm not going to feel comfortable with you. You cannot say, oh, okay, I love you, Brother Ishmael, but your shoulder is not part of you. Every unit is a part of the great life we choose to call God. All right? And that's why Jesus would even tell you in Matthew 5:23 that even if you went to the altar to offer your gifts, your offering, and you remember your brother has something against you, leave the offering at the altar. Don't take it back. God will have use of it in case you don't even come back. But you must go and make peace with the person before coming back to pray. So to come to pray, you must ensure oneness. Lack of oneness means that many people do not get their prayers fulfilled. Okay. So God is the law of the universe, and as the law of the universe, God does not give. I repeat, God is the law of life. God does not give, because God is not withholding anything from you. The sun is not withholding its rays from you. You will have to know how to tap the sun's energy and use it for electricity. So you cannot go to the sun and say, give me. The sun will not give you. The sun is already the givingness of life, and God is already the givingness of life. God is not withholding to keep it from you. So you must just know how to tune in with your prayers so that you experience God. Often we go to God with prayers, even with what I call windy thoughts. How many times have you not prayed? And 5 minutes after the prayer, you've forgotten what you prayed for. So it's like going to dump some refuse on God and say, look, here is my prayers, and see what you can do with this for me. You are praying amiss. When your prayers are not even important to you, how can it be important to the universe? The same way as you forget them quickly, the universe forgets them also. So the book of James 4:3 states, ye ask and receive not, because ye ask amiss, that you may consume it upon your lust. So when your prayer requests are just for your material gains and the pomposity, then the universe may probably not support you. So the motive for prayer is very important. You did not bring yourself here. The life that brought you here for its own evolution and promotion. So prayers are lustful when they are to satisfy only the persuasions of your senses and for self-glorification. But your prayers must be that you will be some solution to your family, to your community, and to the world. Everybody is created to be a solution to the world. And everything you need in life is fulfilled to the degree that you are a solution to something in the world. You want even a good marriage? What solution are you seeking to be for a man? What solution are you seeking to be for a woman in life? That will direct you or be the energy that connects you to that right man or woman. Let's compare these two prayers. One prayer states, oh God, grant me promotion in my company so that I'll be able to buy me a new car and live comfortably. That is a prayer. Then the other person will pray and say, oh God, enable me with wisdom that will promote my company for all to earn great monthly income. Which of these do you believe is in harmony with life? Obviously, the second one. Because the second one is not about me to buy a car and live comfortably, but it's about promoting the whole company. How many people actually pray for their companies? Often, you just want to pray for what you want. And for you to have what you want in your company, you must first seek the promotion of the company. Similarly, whatever you want in life, seek the promotion of life. So as life is promoted, your needs are met. And when through you, the company is promoted, naturally, they lift you up to become the manager. So your desire is not to be the manager or director, but to be a wisdom that will bring some solution to the company. Now, let's get this. As a unit of life, you need to know that all prayer, as I've shared, is you tuning in. And the secret of tuning in is this. The Bible says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23, verse 7. Meaning, thinking backed by feeling is equal to your manifestation. We don't think in the heart, we think in the head, backed by the feelings of the heart. And I want to tell you that feeling is the secret. You must be able to generate huge positive feeling to support your prayers. Emotion is the power that carries thoughts into manifestation. So a strong emotion or feeling is therefore the key to successful prayer. And that's why Jesus will teach you and say that when you pray, believe you have it and you shall have it. When you pray, believe you have it means go to the end of the prayer and experience the prayer as already fulfilled. This will generate positive feeling. And with that positive feeling, you pray, then you will have it. Because if you pray with anxiety for a wife, you will get a wife who will give you anxiety. If you pray with anxiety to get you a car, you get a car that will give you anxiety. So the energy with which you pray is very important. Another way in which you can pray and experience desires very quickly is to pray tuning you to a spiritual master's consciousness, such as Jesus. So Jesus will tell you, if ye love me, keep my commandments. To tune to the master's consciousness, like we pray and say, oh, I'm praying through Jesus Christ our Lord. I hear it from many lips. Through Christ our Lord, through Jesus Christ our Lord. And we have made those prayers for thousands of years, for hundreds of years. And nothing is happening. Through Jesus Christ our Lord, we prayed for world peace. And we're still working at it. Because God will not come and give us peace. God is peace. We have to wake up to begin to experience the peace that we are desiring. So for you to pray in the name of Jesus or Prophet Muhammad, peace be unto him, or any spiritual master, you must be tuned to that consciousness of the master. In a TV mission, you hardly hear us praying and say, through Jesus Christ our Lord. No. We activate ourselves, or we connect ourselves to the love of God that was in Christ Jesus. Philippians 2, 5-6 says, let this mind be in you, which also was in Christ Jesus, who though in the form of God, did not count it robbery to be equal with God. So we open ourselves to that consciousness, that mind of God in Christ Jesus. So we pray with the love of Jesus. We pray with the mind of Jesus, with the consciousness of Jesus, not just the mere mentioning of the name Jesus. Because as we studied, he was not even called Jesus. His real name was Yeshua. His English name given to him is Jesus. So the book of John 4:15 says, if you love me, keep my commandments. In other words, connect to me by doing what I say you should do. And when the master taught us love, then we have to connect ourselves to a love frequency as Jesus would want us to love one another. Then in the energy of that Christ love, we pray. So the disciple must be devoted to the spiritual master by doing what the spiritual master said. And because Jesus said in John 15:7, he said, if ye abide in me, and my words abide in you, ye shall ask what ye will, and it shall be done unto you. So you get it? It's not just ending the prayer by saying, through Christ our Lord. You must allow his word to abide in you. He has taught you that love even your enemies, pray and bless them. Is that abiding in you? He has taught you to love and bless even the people of other faith and religion and be one with them. Is that abiding in you? Are you doing what he said? He's taught you to forgive infinitely. And in fact, forgive the wrongs of the world before the wrongs are even committed. Are you doing that? So I share with you in my last lesson on Jesus the Christ, you can download it, the importance of the to-do and a few to-dos that Jesus said you should do. The highest form of prayer is you awakening to the truth of your own being. That is the truth, that you are the light, the way, and the path to God realization. Awaken to it when Jesus told you that you are the light of the world, a city set upon an hill that cannot be hidden. And let your light so shine. What light? He's not talking of the incandescent or fluorescent light, the light of God. Let the light of God shine in you through you. In other words, be God expressive. That's the highest form of prayer. And if there's a need for you to pray for anything, your prayer will be, thy kingdom come, O God. Let your power come through me and express through me. So I am you expressing. When you are God expressive, then the universe is already attending to your every need before you would even need them. Fear always switches you off or disconnects you from God. Fear indicates that you do not really know God in the power presence of God. Fear indicates your prayers. And then when you are in the house and you switch on your electricity, you do not go to check why it will come on or not come on. You just know it will come on. And if the electricity or the light does not switch on, you know to check the circuitry and not to go and pray. So that is the way we live our life. That is what faith is. Faith makes you know. The Bible says that faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. Have evidence of God. Then when you pray and you say be, it is. Some powerful ways of praying is to live a life of gratitude. Gratitude simply means I recognize the good that life is. So when you recognize the good that God is as life, that becomes a way of living. The Bible says, pray without season. So pray without season mode is for you to pray with gratitude, to live the life of gratitude. Recognize the gratitude for the life that you are, even if your body is getting rotten with disease right now. The fact that you are alive in this life in this Disneyland, and being alive and being part of this life, you are grateful. Be grateful if your arms were cut and your legs have been amputated. Be grateful, whatever state you find yourself. So your gratitude is to God for making himself alive as you. God has become you for its own glory. And all of your prayers must end with you listening. I will discuss that greatly when we come into meditation. So there are various types of prayer. We have the prayer of gratitude, which I've just explained. Then we have a prayer of acknowledgement, in which you are acknowledging the power presence of God. In the prayer of acknowledgement, you are simply acknowledging that the hand of God is in this situation. You know the story of Joseph. So he was thrown to the pit, sold to slavery. He rose, he finally ended in prison, and finally became the prime minister of the then world, managing the resources of the then world. So you see, all through to the pit, to the palace, to the prison, from prison to prime minister, the hand of God was in his situation. When we are in difficulty, we are very quick to start focusing on the witches are against me, life is against me, but acknowledge God in every situation. Know that the hand of God is in that situation. So you can live a life of prayer, of acknowledgement. The hand of God is my situation, raising me up to his expected vision or expected end for me. You see, scripture says, I know the thoughts I'm thinking about you, thoughts of peace, not of evil, to bring you to an expected end. There is expected vision of God for my life. No matter what I'm going through, the hand of God is in my situation. We also have prayer for illumination. Through the Spirit of God within me, divine wisdom, discernment, inspiration are mine. Such a declaration brings you to a state of illumination. And you simply know that, okay, I didn't bring me here. The Spirit of God within me as me is expressing itself as wisdom, discernment, inspiration. And then you focus on ways that God is doing this in your life. Another way of praying is through libation. When we talk of libation, many people will say, oh, that is African. Yes, that's the African way of praying. When we pray and clasp our hands, we believe it's even Western. It's not Western, it's Indian. That's the way they greet their elders when they meet an elder, they clasp their hands. So when they pray to God with clasped hands, and that is their way of saying, I respect you. In Africa and Ghana for that matter, when you receive a visitor, and within 5 minutes, you don't serve the visitor with some water, it means he or she is persona non grata and must walk away. An unwanted person, please walk away. Serving water to the guests is an indication that you are welcome. And when God is welcome into your consciousness, our way of prayer, therefore, is by pouring libation. Our way that we call God tells us that we know God. You know, in Africa and Ghana, for that matter, we don't have a name for the creative love, intelligence, the cosmic presence. We call God by God's attributes. Nyankopon, big friend. It doesn't break. Ompong, meaning it doesn't break. It doesn't give up. So we call God by attributes. In the Ghana, we say Nyongbo, visitor of the night. In the very night of your life, there's a light coming out. Let there be light that is coming out in the night of your life. Bible says in the beginning, darkness was upon the face of the deep, and it acted upon itself by commanding, let there be light, and there was light. So the light that is emerging in that darkness, and everybody came from the womb of darkness. So life came from darkness according to Bible. So we say Nyongbo, visitor. In other words, a reality that is emerging from the absolute field of infinite potentialities. Darkness is a field of infinite potentialities. So if pouring libation is wrong, then all other modes of prayer is wrong. And in doing libation, please remember that Bible even enjoins us to pour about a whole gallon of a strong drink in the holy place unto God. That's Numbers 28:7. In praying with libation, if you observe our elders, they will usually lift the drink or offering to the creative, love, intelligent universe and say, we are showing you drink, but we don't give you drink. In other words, God, you are everything. So let your blessings just simply flow into this. I show you drink, but I do not give you drink. Means I cannot give you what already is yours. You are the love, peace, joy, wisdom, creativity. So let all this manifest through this drink. And then the drink is used to pray. The drink then becomes the vessel of heavenly blessing that will bless the earth you are pouring it on. And then you pour it on the ground and say, let the earth be cool. Let the ground upon which my children are walking be cool. Be cool means be filled with prosperity, peace, love, joy, wisdom, everything good. All right? The ground upon which they are walking be cool. Meaning every goodness must happen. And your children, wherever they are walking on the earth. Your husband, your spouse. So you can bless them. And if you're having an estranged husband, if he walks on the earth, bless the earth upon which he is walking. Then when he is having heavenly blessing, he's now blessing the earth upon which he's walking means you are blessing his wealth. And when his wealth is filled with blessing, he will be thinking blessedly towards you. It is as simple as that. You are now making the law work for you. So you pour it on the ground and then you bless, bringing the heavenly blessings upon the earth. And the earth you bless, blesses you. But that's the law of life. What you bless, blesses you. Right? So sometimes somebody will say, oh, I like all of the pouring of libation too, but when you are doing, they call the ancestors. Who is the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob? So when the Israelites will call upon their ancestors, God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, that is okay. When it's done by the African, you are being brainwashed to believe that that one is evil. So libation is another form of prayer. So libation is another form of prayer, and it is divine. All things on earth are substances representing the creative, love, intelligent universe, or they came from the creative, love, intelligent universe. And by blessing the earth, you are blessing the various expressions of God on earth. Prayer is a way of life, and you can have what we call the purity prayer, and that is to live in pure awareness of the God presence in you and as you. Bible says in Matthew 5:8 that blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Often people pray for what they want. They want something to happen to them and for them. Hardly do you hear someone praying and say, oh God, let your spirit pour itself in and through me to dissolve this anger. I have a stealing habit. Let it be removed from me. I have a stealing habit. Remove it from me. I have jealousy habit. Take it away from me. We do not pray for cleansing, but we need to pray for cleansing. Because the Bible says, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. They shall see God means you will experience the absolute goodness of God. When you come to Ethereum mission, our prayer method out of all this, therefore, according to Jesus, is what we choose to call prayer processing, a scientific way of praying, so that when you are using that method, it generates faith naturally, it is experiential, and you are able to have quicker manifestation of your desires. So Jesus has told you in the book of Matthew 6, verses 6 to 9, he said, but thou, when thou prayest, enter into thy closet, and when thou hast shut thy door, pray to thy Father which is in secret. And thy Father which sees in secret shall reward thee openly. But when you pray, use not vain repetitions, as the heathens do, for they think that they shall be heard for their much speaking. Be not ye therefore like unto them, for your Father knoweth what things you have need of before you ask him. After this manner therefore pray, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, and it goes on. You know that prayer. Jesus said, after this manner, he didn't say that's the only prayer. So people always think that if you don't do the Lord's Prayer, then you have not prayed. No. He said, after this manner, therefore, pray. And the manner means a style, a scientific process. First, declaring God, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. And then the first request in that prayer was what? Thy kingdom come. Seeking the glorification of God in your life. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Your law, your purposes must be fulfilled in and through me, even as you know it in your heavenly consciousness. Give us this day our daily bread. Have you heard that prayer before? That wasn't talking about food. There's no food that when you eat, it will nourish you forever. But the prayer says, give us this day our daily bread. In other words, give me enlightenment, a full awareness of yourself, which will nourish me forever. It is only the enlightenment, awakening to the full power presence of God, that can nourish you forever. That's spiritual wisdom. Give me this day my daily bread. In other words, a wisdom of the God presence that will forever birth as every fulfilling desire in my life. That was very deep. And forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And teaching us, therefore, to learn to forgive. Because if you are bearing grudge against one person, that grudge is blocking you from many people. If that person is vibrating from, let's say, frequency 8, and your desire can come to you from a frequency 8 person, that frequency 8 person, though you do not know him, will not come to you because you are hating or resenting your brother in the house of frequency 8. So you need to cleanse that. Then it goes on, deliver us from evil, for thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever, and so on. Because when you have done this, then naturally you are no more in the possibility of any temptation of evil. So deliverance from evil is already even accomplished because there's no sin in you. There's no evil in you. You're not bearing grudge against anyone. Your heart is open. So when we are praying, Jesus said in Matthew 21:22 that, in all things whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer, believing ye shall receive. Believing means be and live it. Be the fulfilled state of the desire. Start living in the fulfilled state of the desire so it generates positive feeling. So that feeling can now tap into the thinking of the universe and manifest your prayer. Again, Mark 11:23-24, Jesus said, for verily I say unto you, that whosoever shall say to this mountain, be thou removed, and cast into the sea, and shall not doubt in his heart, but shall believe that those things which he said shall come to pass, he shall have whatsoever he said. Therefore I say unto you, what things soever ye desire, when you pray, believe you receive them, and you shall receive them. So pray without a doubt. Doubt is a shade of fear. So there must be no fear, and believe you have it. Prayer processing helps you to remove the fears and the doubt, and it puts you into experiential state of the desire already fulfilled. Because all of these steps of Jesus are teaching you exact principles. Pray without doubt. Pray believing. In other words, go to the end. Believe you have it means go to the end. And imagine when I've experienced this prayer fulfilled, what is it like? How does it taste? How does it look? How does it smell? How does it sound? What is my life like when this prayer is fulfilled? Begin to describe you in it. So therefore, whatsoever things ye desire, when you pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. So be in the state of, I have received them. And be in positive expectancy for its manifestation. Then it will happen. In prayer processing, all of these steps are covered naturally. And these are the steps of prayer processing. 1, you declare God in his absoluteness. And then 2, you enter into divine union, divine awakening of your ever oneness with God. And then 3, you begin now to pray acknowledging what you are praying as already happening. And then 4, you give thanks knowing the prayer fulfilled. So, for example, you're praying for love, and you start by declaring that God is the love of the universe. The love between the earth and the moon is the power presence of God. The love between doves that they live in pairs is the very power presence of God. This one with this power presence of God, I am here stepping into the divine embrace of cosmic love that is enabling me to attract unto me the right spouse for me to enjoy successful marriage that is enhancing life. And our marriage has become a living example of the divine beauty of God's love on earth, healing the soul of humanity. In this prayer, I'm not asking anything. I'm actually declaring God, uniting with God, and then establishing what is happening as my life. So it is experiential. In the Lord's Prayer, if you understand it in the context that I explained to you, is very experiential. And from this, you go into what we call declarative prayer, which is the core process of prayer in the Ethereum mission. So in the Ethereum mission, one of the prayer processing methods we use is declarative prayer. And declarative prayer means you are declaring some universal truths. And let me see if I can give you some universal truths of God that you may use, because you need to know God. And the first key to successful prayer is declaring God or discovering God. There is intelligence that guides the ants, providing them with the knowing for where their next food is coming from. And this intelligence is God. This intelligence is available in the fire, water, earth, and air that is keeping the ants alive and keeping me alive. I'm one with this intelligence. In this declaration, if you observe, there is no doubt here. I'm declaring something that my internal critics and the logical mind know is true. So within and without, there's a knowing that this is so. There is an answering, guiding presence that guides the birds to fly without navigational instrument to thousands of miles for their food and return to their nest in safety. One with this power of God that guides the birds in its amplified form, I'm guided to my supply right here, right now. These are some methods of declarative prayer. And I will encourage you to get the book, Fountain of Life, so you get all of these pieces and examples of declarative prayer in it. It follows the same prayer process method. So you declare God with identifiable evidences in nature and also in your life. And these speak of the attributes and qualities of God that I've just given you an example. So you declare God as wisdom, as in the ants. And Solomon the wise told you, go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise. So you declare the wisdom of God in the ants. There is a self-knowingness in bats, that they know how to send out ultrasonic waves into the universe that brings them a feedback of where their supply is, and they fly to it directly. One with this ultrasonic energy and wisdom of God, I am, by this prayer, releasing my word into the universe for abundant supply of my infinite good. And you are directed to it. You can observe that right away as I'm praying it, there is an inner experience. So declarative prayers are experiential. They are faith generating. It's coming from an absolute state of knowing. Faith is a substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. So there's evidence in the declaration. And you see, we read Bible like meals and boons, so we are not studying these spiritual and scientific processes taught to us. So step one is to declare God. Step two, you enter into oneness with God, which we call unification with God. Step three, you create your desire with the creative way that God is working. And then step four, you give thanks, accepting your desires accomplished. So the two major elements, belief is already covered, because there's no doubt in you. And also it is experiential. And you are actually experiencing it fulfilled as you are praying. I give you the definition that prayer is a scientific method of harnessing your mind, feeling, and body to experience the absolute nature of God. As such, there are many prayer aids that can help you to harness your mind, feeling, and body. Because if you are praying and your attention is somewhere else, then you'll be wavering. So you need some things sometimes to help you even focus. Sometimes it may require you lighting a candle or lighting an incense. And these sometimes become reasons for confusions between people who, some religions will say, if you light incense, it is wrong, then it will drive away God's angels, which angels can be driven away by incense. Bible tells us in Hebrew 12:29 that our God is a consuming fire. So what's wrong in lighting a candle? And the early Christians were praying in caves and with candles. Was God running away from them as a result? All these, I believe, have outgrown this petty human ignorance. So you can use any prayer aid that will harness your mind, feeling, and body. It includes music. Music is a prayer aid. Music is not what you do or sing to entertain God, for God to feel happy and do your commands. It is what you do that helps to tune your mind to the frequency of God. Therefore, the choice of music itself is very important. For example, singing a song and saying, I am weak, but thou art mighty. You see, it's better for you to sing saying, I am strong, but thou art stronger. Hold me in your mightier hands. So it's when you understand the nature of the working of the mind and spirit, which should be the teachings of the church, and you know how to blend yourself in prayer to experience your desires. So there are many prayer aids, including pouring libation, sacrifice, singing, dancing. They are all prayer aids. Washing of feet. In Islam, you have to wash your feet. Symbolic of shame for my God. As I wash my feet, I'm washing away the anger, the hate, the fear that I have lived in today. If you could just go and wash the dust off your feet and the anger, hate, jealousies are still inside you, it is useless indeed. So know it for real and do it as it should be done. Sometimes so you'll be asked to remove your shoes. Actually, there are scientific reasons also. Because when you are praying and your feet are on the bare earth, you are connected to the mother. You are made of the mother. You are praying in the mother. It's good to have that connection. But removing the feet is also saying that I'm removing my shoes of ignorance. I walked through many lands, gathered a lot of ignorance of anger, hate, fear, jealousy, guilt, shame. And as I remove my shoes, I'm removing the shoes of my humanness so that only the God essence of me will speak to God. Is it good to pray in a group? Yes. Very few people are able to go through university or do university course on their own. Often when you are with a group, it gives you group courage, group force, and you are able to generate energy. So you're able to amplify the force easily. That's why Jesus will tell you that when two or more gather in my name, when you gather in the love spirit of Christ Jesus, the love spirit of God that was in Christ Jesus, in that love spirit of oneness and divine empowerment, what you ask, love will make it happen. And then when two or more gather, you amplify the love energy. And when you gather also, and instead of amplifying love energy, you rather bind your enemies, that is increasing the hatred, anger, jealousy energy, you are actually imprisoning yourself. I've given you experiment for you to know the effect of you binding the devil. Even saying the word I bind the devil reduces your energy. But what you need to do is to focus on God with I love God. So congregational prayers generate bigger soul force that expedites the fulfillment of the prayer. And when the belief of the group is also negative, you harvest bigger negative psychic force, which will degenerate you and cause you more problem. The book of Timothy, 2 Timothy 1:7 says, God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and sound mind. In other words, when you go to any church and the teachings is about what the devil, hellfire will do, and all this inspires fear, then they are not of God, because God doesn't give such spirit. So, like the young men in the church who will pay other young men to pray and fast for them, I know you will no more be complacent in your prayer. All right? If you go into a place and you are late, you don't just stand there and keep praying, God, don't let me be late. You keep running towards your destination while you are praying, right? So Jesus has given us a perfect way of prayer, and now I believe you understand it and you will apply. The next tool of prayer is meditation. Meditation is the direction of your attention to your essential nature. It is what Jesus prescribed when he said, enter into your closet. Shut the doors of your senses of sight, smell, taste, touch, and hearing. Speak to your Father in secret, and your Father in secret will answer you plainly. That is meditation. Psalm 1 says, blessed are those who meditate on the law of God night and day. They shall be like trees planted by the riverside, and whatever they do shall prosper. All prayers must end in the silence. Prayer is not a one-way street. When you have finished praying, if you have 1 hour for prayer, spend 5 minutes in the prayer and 55 minutes listening. Your power is in what you hear from God. Prayer must always download for you a revelation and inspiration for action. If your prayers do not download revelation, then you have not finished praying. And the revelations come when you now enter into silence and you begin to listen. In fact, one way of prayer is even to just start by just listening and saying, Father, I am here. What would you want to do and be through me today for your glory? Father, I am here. What would you want to do and be through me today for your glory? And just listen and allow God to desire itself through you and fulfill its own desires through you and as you. Who are you to believe that you know what you want? Jesus said your Father knows what you need already. So when you will meditate, all it asks of you is to find a place where you are very comfortable and not disturbed, a place where you can be very still and quiet, and you can return into yourself. Those from the eastern quarters may want to squat on the floor, but if you are here in Ghana and the Western world, sit on any comfortable chair. You can even lie down on the bed and meditate, but that can make you sleep. So that's why we will always recommend sitting in an upright, comfortable chair, the spine and the body erect but not rigid. Allow the eyes to close, taking some deep rhythmic breath to the count of 4, hold it to the count of 2, then breathe out to the count of 4. Observe your tension spots till your tension spots all relax. And this is very useful also, because soon you'll be able to master stress. And many diseases are stress caused. So by meditating regularly, it's a therapeutic discipline for yourself. You may put your attention on the third eye center, that is this spot, the spot between the 2 eyebrows. Put your attention there. And whenever you want to think, instinctively, you always raise your eyes there. Whether the eyes are closed or open, you instinctively raise the eye there when you are thinking. And it's actually an energy spot in the body. So in meditation, you will want to put your attention there naturally, and then let your meditation now begin. And there are many types of meditation. So this is the basic step. Now whatever will follow will be what meditation style you are wanting. We have what we call prayerful meditation, where in the meditation you are praying, but silently. Not a word is heard, but describing your life in God and with God. You can also do what we call meditation on God abilities. So you just contemplate on any ability of God, and you may choose a simple statement such as, everything which is true of God is true of me. Love is true of God. Everything which is true of God is true of me. Then with the in-breath, you knowing that everything which is true of God is true of me. With the out-breath, I and my Father are one. Everything which is true of God is true of me. With the in-breath, with the out-breath, I and my Father are one. Or just say, so am. In other words, so God is, so I am. So with the in-breath, you just hear you knowing and saying, so. And contemplate on all that God is, that you know and could be that you have not yet known, and am. So that's what you are. We call that awareness meditation. or ability meditation. Then you can also do what we call contemplative meditation. It normally comes with a question. So you may just put a simple question to yourself, such as, who am I as spirit being? What God qualities am I here to do and be for the glory of God? And then you simply listen to the answer. So that is contemplative till the answers come. What are my qualities and abilities as spirit being will now download through you what the universe knows as you. So you can stay in meditation and allow this to happen. You can also do what we call awareness meditation, where you sit and first be aware of your environment. Everything you can see, smell, taste, touch, and hear. And simply know that I am here in this environment. I can see this, smell this, taste that, hear that, touch this. And then you allow the eyes to close. Then you touch some parts of the body and say, I'm touching my chest, I'm touching my ear, and so on. And then you let go. Then you bring in some feeling of joy into your emotional body, such as when you had a very nice time with your spouse. You say, I'm feeling this joy of this party or the joy of this moment with my spouse. So I am feeling this joy. Now you bring in a thought such as, in the next 10 years, I am having a new house. Bring in that thought. And then when you have done all this, now you go to the final level. Who is this I that is thinking a thought in the thinking body, in the mental body, and feeling feelings in the emotional body, living in the physical body, in the environment? So now you start resting on that I. This is high spiritual practice. It's one of the master keys for enlightenment. So that is meditation for you. And all these are covered in my book, The Fountain of Life. Get it, start reading, start studying, start learning, and start growing. Now comes fasting. Many people think that fasting means starving. Fasting is not starving. Which God will want you to suffer starving before he hears your prayer? God is all loving. God knows your needs already. We don't fast to please God. We fast to cleanse our mind, feeling, and body in order to be able to experience the wonderment of God. Your body is a spiritual magnetism or spiritual magnet. And the magnet is strong. A magnet is strong by the purity of the iron and not by the strength of the electricity that passes through it. I repeat, a magnet is strong by the purity of the iron and not by the strength of the electricity that passes through it. So that if the iron is pure and you coil electricity around it, it creates a strong magnet. Similarly, you want to fast to purify the physical body. You are the temple of the living God. You want this temple to record the spiritual energy, beauty, power, love, and the presence of God's energy, which has poured through you. If love, energy of God pour through you during your fasting, during your prayer and your meditation, you want to retain it. So like a battery put on your car, you want the battery to be very strong. And for the battery to be very strong, it must be empty of impurities, empty of physical, mental, and emotional impurities. And that's why we fast. So fasting in itself physically is therapeutic. It's a way of curing many diseases. And when you are fasting, drink a lot of water. I say drink a lot of water. In the early days when we talk about fasting, drinking water, some pastors said we don't know how to fast. Today I'm hearing some of them are now waking up. Because you want the body to be purified, drink a lot of water so that you sweat out, you wee out, and the body is purified and it's very clean. So at the end of the fasting, you are stronger and more energized, not weaker. And that is one sure way of even curing many peptic stomach ulcers and so on. Right? That's a whole topic by itself when I come to healing. So fasting has physical benefits. And then as I say no to food, I'm saying no to this anger that I always express. Replay all of that anger and say, I'm saying no to food. And in the moment I'm saying no to food, I'm saying no to this anger. We don't only fast from food alone. You can fast from anything. Maybe you smoke. You can say, I'm fasting from smoking. I'm fasting from meat. I'm fasting from something which brings me to a remembrance of some spiritual, mental, and emotional inner forces that I have to fast from and be clean in my soul. In a theory mission, when we are fasting, we avoid root food and meat. And there's a reason. In a theory mission, when we are fasting, we avoid root food and meat, and there's a reason. Because these have got strong vibration of the earth already. And you have so much of the earth vibration. So you want to have a balance of other elements. You are constituted of fire, water, earth, and air. And you have so much of the earth. You need more of the air vibration, water vibration, and the fire vibration. So there's a balance in you. And in so doing, you are able to retain more of the magnetism. So that's the simple reason. It's not evil whether you eat root food or not, but we have studied the vibration of things, and we know. Many people have got this archaic spiritual knowledge that if you are fasting and you are a woman, you cannot pray when you are in your period, or you cannot fast when you are in your period, or you are basically unholy when you are in your period. It's never true. I don't know how God can be offended, or God's angels can be offended by the menses of a woman. The process that cleanses the womb to ensure that a child of God is incarnating is a very holy and pure process. So if you are in that type of thinking, please free yourself. God is too pure to behold iniquity, and much more to be offended by the menses of a woman that he created in her own image and likeness. And the ever-present God is present with you when you are in your menses. So if God is already present with you, how can God be offended? So, beloved, I've taken you through this master topic, prayer, meditation, and fasting. I will encourage you to download it and also get the book, Fountain of Life, which will support you on your journey. You now know why your prayers are not answered, and now you know how to prepare you, to tune you in to the needed frequency of God to experience whatever prayer you are asking. Make prayer a way of life and not a time when you just go and present shopping list to God. That is like an insult unto God. Once again, God will not do for you what God has given you the power to do. This is Ethereum Mission, the Church for Spiritual Empowerment. In Ghana, we are located in Sakaman, South Odoko, that's in Greater Accra. So join us this and every Sunday in our church service and start your spiritual journey, your spiritual growth. I love you. In Ghana, our phone numbers are 0264 177 633. That's 0264 177 633 and 0548 177 633. So call for any further directions and support. There are also our WhatsApp numbers. And if you want our weekly lessons, you can just apply through these numbers. We'll put you on our list and you'll receive our daily and weekly lessons. For those of you in Kumasi, we are now in Kumasi worshiping at the Deva Court Hotel in Adiambra, opposite Dr. Badu, behind Dr. Badu. So please locate Ethereum Mission in Kumasi in Adiambra. In Takrady, locate us in the Davis Street in Ananji Estates. On the Davis Street in Ananji Estates. And if you are in UK, I will soon be with you. Exactly 2 weeks today, by this time, probably I may be ready to be flying to join you. His grace makes it possible. And I trust we will continue to grow in our spirits together. The phone number in UK is 020-8646-6129. And the address is 58 Goringe Park Avenue, Mitcham, Surrey. And the postcode is CR42DG. I know this has been very fulfilling for you. And we will have the phone lines opened for any questions and contributions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brother Ishmael, as always, for thought-provoking messages that comes through you. As he said, lines are open for your questions and your contributions. If you are within the United Kingdom, 0208 144 8180. 0208 144 8180. For the very ones outside of the United Kingdom, all you need is the country code 0044, and then you add 208 144 8180. For our brothers in the United States and Canada, 315 636 4063. 315 636 4063. And the Skype Aqu24 Radio, altogether Aqu24 Radio. If you prefer to use the popular of all the options, it's just our WhatsApp line 004474 4074 5244. 004474 4074 5244. Prayer, meditation, and fasting. That is what Brother Ishmael has taken us through this very evening. Now, your questions. I'll just read some few comments via the Facebook live video, and some very interesting comments right here. We have Tembi Potelezi. Oh my God, the love of my soul. So happy to be here live. And we have, I believe the name is Sage Oates. Giving thanks for your work, Brother Ishmael. My world is more whole and beautiful through your teachings. Giving thanks for your work, Brother Ishmael. My world is more whole. My world is more whole and beautiful through your teachings. And we have I think she invited someone, Celicia Whittingham. Welcome to my world. Brother Ishmael teaches wisely. Dorcas, I see here Theophilus. I'm listening as well. Okay, good to know you are listening. We have Ni Agbo. Ni Agbo says powerful revelations. And then Ni says again, believing. Wow, good one. Those are a few of the comments via the Facebook live video. Well, Brother Ishmael,
I'm right here.
Caesar is asking. Now, Matthew chapter 7 verse 7 says, we should ask, we should seek, and we should knock. If God wouldn't do what He has given us the power to do, then what are we to ask of God to give unto us? That is the question from Caesar.
Any more?
Yes, let's deal with that of Caesar, and then we go to the rest.
Right. So the same Jesus that taught you, ask and ye shall be given, is only teaching you that don't sit in the state of inactivity. Just sitting down, your arms in between your laps, and then expecting the universe to do. Even though the child was born and the breast milk was there already provided, the child would have to make the effort to use his or her lips or its lips to suck. So this ask is only asking you to participate in life by asking, seeking, have the desire to be your God self. But then he also share with you the manner of the asking. He said, in this manner must you ask. Ask as a way of realization. First, declare God, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Your name be holy. And hallowed be thy name means, how do you call God? I am that I am. How do you call you? I am Ishmael. Your name be holy in me, as me, and in everything that I see, perceive. Let me experience your wholeness, holiness, and fullness in everything. So he's giving you the manner of asking. And then the same Jesus told you, your Father knows what you need already. So like I shared with you, prayer is a scientific method of you opening yourself. The asking is a method of you opening yourself to experience what already is. It is not asking for God to go and do something new for you. What God will do for you, God is already doing and has already done. And every need is an indication that supply is already awaiting your recognition and claim. But if you do not really open yourself to that supply, it will not be there. So I gave you the example that the sun has electricity for us. But if we don't really open ourselves to it, we will still sleep in darkness. So that asking is not creating shopping list and just go and dump it on God. So he told you, your Father knows what ye need already. So prayer is therefore a scientific method of harnessing your mind, feeling, and body to experience what God is already providing. So your asking must be a method of connecting you to the already available supply. I trust that helps him.
I hope Caesar will be okay with that explanation. Nana Sika is of the view that Nana Sika is in London. Nana Sika is of the view that while in Ghana he prayed, and he has realized prayer does not work. That is his view. He thinks prayer does not work. The question therefore is, to what extent would someone possibly be close to not believing in prayer, using a false definition of prayer as a reference point?
So you see, I will not know whether Nana Sika was using that old way of prayer, expecting that God has some tons of something, and you just ask and he goes to that room and then picks your desire and drops it for you. Maybe one of Nana Sika's prayer is to be in London, and he's in London now, so that itself is a prayer answered. But let me tell Nana Sika, every moment your life is a prayer in a way. Seeking to breathe is prayer. And seeking to breathe, you are breathing, so your prayers are being answered even in the breathing that you are breathing. So your life is prayer in action. Prayer, therefore, is just a way for you to bring your consciousness to the working processes of life and participating with it. Wanting to get up from bed and go to work was prayer. It is prayer answered. But often we tend to think that, oh, God is, we are still, many people are still with the sky God. The sky God sitting somewhere in the sky on Mount Olympus. That's why we had Olympic Games. And the gods meet with him every 4 years. And then you pray to this God, and then he picks something and throws it on you. God is your intelligence, beauty, and inner abilities. So I said, God will not do for you what God has given you the power to do. When you pray, God incarnates in through you by you awakening to your innate abilities and then exercising them. Awakening and exercising them, maybe you are employed. That is prayer answered. Maybe you are having your own business. That is prayer answered. Maybe you are married. That is prayer answered. Maybe you are having children. That is prayer answered. But you cannot, for example, pray to God and say, God, give me children, give me children, give me children. And yet you did not consume your wife. And you are sitting down saying, God, give me children. So God has given you the ability to do what must be done for you to have the children. You are not doing it. And you are saying, God, give me children. So then, no children, and you say, God has not answered your prayer. So remember also that all prayers must be able to download for you a revelation and inspiration for action. When you prayed, did you listen? And did you get the revelation? Until you get the revelation and inspiration for action, you have not prayed. So the way to know whether you have prayed is that you will always get the revelation and inspiration for action. Then you have prayed. If not, you did not pray.
Thank you very much for that. We have JB via our WhatsApp line asking, please, can Brother Ishmael touch on the different meditation methods again? can Brother Ishmael touch on the different methods of meditation again? Over to you, Brother Ishmael.
I believe the best answer is for him to download this when we put it on the website tomorrow or by the weekend. And the website is ethereumlife.com/UK radio. ethereumlife.com/UK radio. So get there and download it. Because to teach it all again will take another 10-15 minutes. But I've shared prayerful meditation, awareness meditation, and one that I really would like you to play with is awareness meditation. It's so magical. It's so magical. So download it and then listen to it.
He came back saying, I think I do the contemplative meditation by nature, and I never saw it, but he mentioned few others which I would love to incorporate into my life. You heard him, JB. It's going to be on the website by tomorrow, so you can have it in your own time and listen to it once again. As he said, all these that he's giving to us is in the fountain of life. The fountain of life. So if you are to get the fountain of life as well, you will have the hard copy, and then you can revisit anytime. You see, I think Brother Ishmael is being very generous with us. Everything in the fountain of life is now given to us verbally with further description. So if you are to get the fountain of life, you will get the confirmation of all that he said. But that is not to take away his generosity to us, giving us all the things in the fountain of life. Brother Ishmael, possibly we use this one and then we can round up. Many a time, many people have been through the old style of worshiping God, the old style of believing in God, as you said, believing in the clerical God that is recording our debit and our credit transactions, and then at the end of some possible time he will do the balancing. I don't know if he himself is the accountant or another accounts officer is there to come and do the balancing, and then he will decide if you go to his left hand side or you go to his right hand side. Many people have believed in such things. Now, out of knowledge, many people have come to realize that all those things they believed in were fallacy. But one thing I have realized is that many people, when they come to the understanding of those beliefs being fallacy, they end there. They don't go on to find out then what is the real God that we should be looking out for. Anything simple for such people, so that they don't end with the knowledge that what they have believed in was wrong, but they should go further on to find the real one and then awaken to the strength within them.
In fact, when they come to that plateau, it's a very noticeable plateau and a very good place to be in the first place. So I congratulate those who have discovered that, oh, that was fallacy. And then they come to that plateau. From the plateau, life's compelling force will eventually compel them to the next step. But some people will need some like rest for a year, 2 or 3, because like they have been burdened with that error for so many years. And when you have really been chased for so long by a frightening animal, and now you get rest, your first drive is not to move forward. It's for you to rest for some time. So that's the state they come into. Then will come the quest time. And if they don't move to the quest time quickly, life sometimes presents them with some pain, some challenge, some difficulty to inspire them to the next level. So from there, they will now go to the quest time. From the quest time, they will go to the finding time, searching and finding time. Then they will come to the discovery time. Then they get finally to the awareness time. and they are now spiritually free. So to me, if they are in that place, it's a good place. I'll only bless them to really take some deep breaths in there and know that life is about evolution and there's no standstill in life. You're either moving ahead or falling behind. So if you've discovered what that does not work, it's your invitation for you now to seek the path of what works. Because what works is awaiting you. But I know that spiritual phenomenon, the plateau, I know what happens when they get there.
Thank you very much for that. And I hope our brethren, many of such people have resorted to science, explaining everything. And I remember a gentleman that I spoke to over the weekend telling me science have come to the conclusion that we began as bacteria, and when we began as bacteria, we evolved into who we are at this present moment. Well, I asked, if we started from bacteria, then where from the bacteria? All that he said to me was, well, that is how far science has gone. If we want to talk about where the bacteria came from, it's going to be based on assumptions. But science says we began from bacteria. I know many people have now read and listened to all sorts of knowledge, and there is a strong likelihood that when you begin to know that many things you have been told in the past are false, you are definitely going to possibly stay at the plateau. But as you said, once you know the counterfeit, you have to start looking for the original. Your few final words, and then we can round up nicely.
And science actually is spiritual. And wherever science takes us to as the beginning of life is spiritual. And that is an undisputed fact. Because if we started from a bacteria, but this bacteria is so intelligent that it knows how to make heart beat. And even it knows, whilst it is a blood in the body, it knows how to form oxyhemoglobin with oxygen outside of the body to prevent the body from dying when wounded. That intelligence in us, whether you call it bacteria, Big Bang, we see a powerful, awesomely huge, vast creativity in nature, love in nature, intelligence, purposeful intelligence in life. So that bacteria is what the world calls God. That Big Bang, that is huge, managing huge galaxies. Our Earth, like I said, is like a drop of water in 100 billion oceans of the Earth put together. So all the ocean and the water of the Earth, if you have 100 billion of them, the Earth we are living on is a drop of water in 100 billion. And this intelligence from the bacteria or from the Big Bang is making all these happen. My intelligence to create mobile phone, to create computers, flying objects such as aeroplanes, and then cars, trains, all of these, medicine. Wow. Then this bacteria is so amazing, wonderful, beautiful. I love the creative, love, intelligent bacteria. It is so amazing. So we don't fight whatever name you give to the rose. It will give you the same fragrance. Whatever we came from is endowed with purposeful, creative, love, intelligence. And we are here enacting the same. So to understand ourselves and why we are here, we must learn how to align ourselves with this huge bacteria, whether it's tiny and became big or big and became tiny, with this huge bacteria. The position of the Earth, if it were some miles towards the sun, we will burn. Some further away, we will freeze. It is in exact position placed by an exact power. When we are in winter, the Earth is further away from the sun, which will tell you that If the earth has been that far away all the time, then there will be no life. So the exactness, the purposefulness. Wow, bacteria, I love it. I've got another one. I know Big Bang. I'm now knowing bacteria. So very powerful, purposeful, creative, love, intelligent bacteria. And we have to learn its purposes, its plan for us. Since you have intelligent reason for building a car, so it has also intelligent reason for creating you. And you need therefore to know, what is your reason for creating me? Oh, cosmic bacteria. What is your purpose for creating me? What wonder, what beauty of you are you seeking to express through me? Do you desire something beautiful? If you do desire something beautiful, then your creator is desiring something beautiful in creating you. So ask your creator, what beauty are you seeking to express through me, your creation? Oh, bacteria, from which I have come from, and I am desiring beauty. What beauty are you seeking to express through me, your creation? And that is worship. That is prayer. That is spiritual living. Thank you so much, my beloved families, for joining me in this hour of awakening and empowerment. This is Ethereum Mission, the heavenly mission. Our vision is that of a unified world in which everyone is a catalyst that is activating and promoting the innate good in one another. Join me in believing in this world that is possible, a world in which the good I am is looking for the good you are. If it doesn't find it, it will dig it. If it finds it, it will promote it. Let's believe in the world that is possible. I invite you, therefore, to download the Peace Manual from the website, wellpeaceinOurLifetime.com. And you may sign the manual to state that, yes, we can have well peace in our lifetime. If we believe what is possible and work towards it, we shall make it happen. Let's leave a legacy of peace and evolutionary progressive world for our children and our children's children. In Ghana, Ethereum Mission, we are located in Sacramento, South Odoko, next to the Goyle Filling Station. And our phone numbers are 0264 177 633 and 0548 177 633. There are also our mobile money numbers if you want to donate to support our cause. And there are also our WhatsApp numbers if you want to be part of our education team. Just write and say, please put me on your platform so you can receive our daily as well as our weekly lessons. We love you and we care about your evolution. For those of you in UK, I shall soon be there, great permitting in 2 weeks. So you may start fraternizing and fellowshipping with our UK branch in 58 Gorringe Park Avenue, Mitcham, Surrey. The postcode is CR4 2DG. And Kumasians, those in Kumasi, we now worshiping with you in the Deba Court Hotel behind Dr. Badu in Adiambra, Kumasi. Please locate them and begin your spiritual evolution. That's the reason why you are here on earth, to evolve who and what you are as spirit. That is God's command for you. In Takrady, look for us on the Davis Street in the Ananji Estates. Look for a Ethereum Mission signboard on the Davis Street in the Ananji Estates. We love you. Start evolving your soul. And His grace blessing, I'll be with you coming Tuesday. You shall know the topic in due time. Peace be your life.
Thank you. And I also think you wanted to say you will be with us on Thursday. Yes.
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 Oh, yes, I will be with you on Thursday.
On Thursday.
I will be.
That's right.
Actually, we were contemplating having somebody, but I will be here myself.
Good one.
I'll be here coming Thursday, and His grace blessing, I'll be here next week, Tuesday and Thursday, possibly. And maybe I'll continue with you when I'm even in UK. I don't know. I allow Spirit to dictate my path.
Good one. And I'm going to see if I'm going to bribe Spirit so that you continue while in the UK. Thank you very much. Once again, Brother Ishmael. And one thing that I'll say is, many people are scared, taking, as I said the other time, the leap of enlightenment. Religious-wise, many people are stuck within a box, and taking that leap into, they would say, the unknown, where there is freedom, what I call total freedom. It's something very scary to many people. But we have wonderful people like Brother Ishmael, who is taking that leap, and is ready to give you the guidance, the practical tools you will need, so that when you take that leap, you will land on safe grounds. Hour of awakening and empowerment. Thank you once again, Brother Ishmael, and we meet again on Thursday. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
You're the all-consuming fire. I worship you today. You are the all-consuming fire. Come and manifest yourself. You are the all-consuming fire. I worship you today. You are the all-consuming fire. Come and manifest yourself. Yes, you've got fire in your eyes. Nothing hides from you. You see it back,